This is George Senda, the real, official, authentic, original, the one, the only, the official, the guy from Pittsburgh. Accept no cheesy commentators, imposters, or delivery men who take a package on a slow boat from Concord, California. My package seems to be taking forever, even though it says out for delivery at 7 o'clock this morning. I don't know where it's going, but it isn't here. Well, I've been going through things in the bedroom. I tore up a box, found a bunch of stuff that can be thrown out, and I watched a lot of a channel called the Flight Channel, and it got me to think it was something I haven't thought about for years. There have been a lot of paranormal events in my life. My crawling out of my crib, down 5 flights of steel stairs, across a lawn, up a set of wooden stairs, across a road, and then up a gravel embankment to sit on the train tracks at the show up. My mother and the maid were frantic. Where's the baby? They found me with moments to spare as a freight train from the Pennsylvania Railroad came barreling through. Hello, Chloe. But watching the Flight Channel got me thinking of my brush with near death. It was not my time, the passengers on the plane, but there were some other things going on in that year and the 2 years in 1962 and 1963. Now, without looking it up, I don't know when the Cuban Missile Crisis happened. I think it was in 62. My father had been called to active duty. He was a, master sergeant in the Army, and he was at the Pentagon. And during the Cuban Missile Crisis, we were very close to going to nuclear war. So he made a call. We lived on 16th Street, about 2 miles from the White House. We had a fallout shelter in the garage and an air raid siren on top of our building. And one day I and a friend climbed over the fallout shelter. It was just chicken wire with wood and a lock, and we decided to see what was in the food stuffs. This is all tied in. And we opened one of the cases, we found jam and crackers, and we found that it was all bad. So even if the bomb had gone off, we were going to starve to death. But he called my mother up, and he said, we are 15 minutes close to war. Do not get in the car. Do not take Tony. Then I was called Tony. I hate my first name. It's Anthony. Do not think of going to Pittsburgh or anywhere else. You'll never get out. You are in a target zone. And if you hear the siren, you've got 15 minutes. And before that year, or during that year, my mother had a brush with death. By all rights, she should have been dead. And she was far more psychic than I am, and a survivor. I'm psychic too, but not as much as she was. Going down to that garage was a very steep ramp, and it ended in a wall that was the retaining wall for the street above the garage. And one day she went to the commissary to get groceries. She parked the car on the ramp and put the parking brake on and was taking the groceries out of the car when suddenly the parking brake failed. She dove to try to stop the car and got pinned between the door and the door frame, screaming for help. She could not move, and people came and called for help, called for an ambulance. She lost a kidney, and by all rights, the doctors at Walter Reed Army Hospital said she should have died. I was in Walter Reed Army Hospital for another reason that year. My father had a drinking. He couldn't handle it. When he was in the Army, he didn't drink. Well, he came home one night enraged that I hadn't been home all day. I had gone and made it. I had 2 scouts for the Washington Senators say to contact them when I got older. They would sign me to a major league contract. I was very excited, but I wanted to be a surprise to my parents. My mother had gone to work. She was a nurse doing private duty. He came in drunk, tried to come in the front door. It was locked. He called my mother. She said, don't let him in, but the back door's lock was defective. So he managed to get in. He took an electric coffee cord out of the percolator. In the old days, percolator, you had a coffee maker. He took the top off with a little glass. The ground coffee in this basket on this stem, and the water would flow through it, hit the little indicator, and then when the coffee was done, you knew the light would go on. So he beat me with that. Ran a bathtub of boiling water, really hot water. Punched me in the face, knocked me into the bathtub of boiling water, and he took off and disappeared for parts unknown. My mother came home at 7 o'clock in the morning, frantic because she had been calling all night and there was no answer, and found me at the foot of the stairs. The stairs were carpeted with wood underneath and concrete underneath the wood, and we lived in a brand new 4-bedroom house that they had just bought for $30,000. The house is still there. I looked it up on Google Earth. Had trouble recognizing it because when we moved in, the street was almost empty. They rushed me to Walter Reed Harmon Hospital. I lost 80% of the blood in my body. Blood seeped out of my body into the street. They later on had to tear out the stairs because they could not repair it from all the blood. I was 10 years old. They pronounced me dead. My mother said he's not dead. I was gone for 3 days. I saw my body rise out of the bed, saw everybody around the room, and saw the light from the tunnel, headed to the light, and then knew that I would not return if I went to that light. So I went back to my body, and I spent a year in Walter Reed Army Hospital. Well, after that, I started running away from home a lot. Before we moved from Washington, D.C. in 1964. At 10. And I was a catcher and very good. I had problems with taking the mask off because I wore glasses and was afraid of the ball, but I had no fear of the ball with the mask on. And I couldn't hit very well, but one day I hit a home run, and both sides stood there in amazement. The coaches and everybody else, and well, you can imagine the words they said. Several expletive deleteds as to bleep bleep, he hit a home run, and I didn't know what to do because I'd never hit a home run before. I stood there at the bat, and they said run or walk, and so I did. I dropped the bat. And anyway, my average was about 200, like Bob Uecker. But I was a very good defensive catcher. But anyway, I started running away from home. And my mother decided to send me to Europe. As it's after I had healed from my injuries. And we went to London on TWA. No problem. Got to the airport, spent way too much money in the gift shop. And then we got on Lufthansa Airlines. And I had another brush with death. The stewardesses on the plane, and back in those days you could have the cockpit open, they gave out orange juice, apple juice, and tomato juice. Well, and back in those days, I loved tomato juice with salt, pepper, and lemon. So I took the tomato juice. I'll tell you about the medical impossibility. There have been guys who were gone for more than 24 hours in a recent news story. It is not impossible. It's just very rare. So, in any event, we're flying from London to Nuremberg. where my relatives lived, and over Frankfurt, they give out juice to everybody, the pilots, the crew, everybody had juice, one form or another. Suddenly, the plane plummets. What we found out later was it was clear air turbulence, something not known much about at the time. We dropped 7,000 feet in a minute. Going up. The pilots, the co-pilot, the crew the stewardesses managed to hand out vomit bags, air sickness bags, they called them the day. They ran out of air sickness bags. People were throwing up in champagne buckets. They were showing up in bowls. The toilets were full. It was horrible. But the problem is we continued to plummet another 3,000 feet. When you're 10, you don't have any, except that I had died not once but twice. Once at the age of 5 when I got 104 fever, was rushed in an ambulance in a blizzard from Ligonier, Pennsylvania to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to McGee Hospital, where my mother worked as a charge nurse on the floor. They brought me in and they said, he's dead. She said, no, I can feel him. Pack him in ice. And they packed me in ice and I was gone for 3 days. They could not detect respiration, pulse, anything, but she said, he's still in there. They thought she was crazy, but that had been something they did in Europe for high fever for years. They didn't do it in America until much later. Again, I came out of my body, saw the TV on, went to the light. So anyway, they finally managed to recover the plane from it diving down to 10,000 feet in about a minute. People were screaming, we're going to die, we're going to die. So I determined after that, when we got safely to Nuremberg, I would never fly Lufthansa again. I haven't. Then there's this odd thing. Since I was 5, I read UFO books. I read the works of Charles Fort. My mother was into astrology. I've always known there was something beyond life. There was something out there. I don't know how. I also had very strange dreams. Well, one night at 5, 1957, something that shouldn't have happened. It's a minor thing, but it bothered me for years, and I couldn't figure out why. I had a dream, and very bad things were happening in the dream, and I heard this in the dream. The problem is, that's this piece of music called Fear for One Step Beyond, and something that was used in the show The Outer Limits is the end music. There were 2 pieces of end music. But One Step Beyond didn't air till 1959. I kept hearing this music in my head for years, and I didn't see One Step Beyond when it originally came out. I saw it in reruns. The other thing that I remember happening, and unfortunately, there's a lot of stuff that is gone because I lost it in storage or in the fire ad in 1977. It's another thing. My father burned down the hunting lodge in Conneaut Lake. Didn't die in that fire. They got me out. I was about 3, and then later on, he set fire to another house and burned that down. We'd get drunk and he would set fires. I survived that one. Years later, when we moved to San Francisco, my mother sent me to an astrologer, and she wanted a chart done of me. This was 1971. I may be off on that year, but I don't really remember because I don't have, sadly, the chart and all this stuff that he wrote. He did an analysis of my chart with a detailed description of the events in my life for the next year. But I don't really remember. And I don't need a therapist. I've been there, done that, got the T-shirt. Thing that was odd, I kept that thing for years, and I lost it in the fire in '77. He had every event of my life, good or bad. And I don't mean, he had specifics. What was going to happen, what I would be doing, what was likely to happen. But it was all 1 year off. So, I don't know what to think about that. Now, my mother died on the operating table and came back. They revived her. She had back surgery. She had multiple heart attacks where they pronounced back. So we have had a very odd life. And my father appeared before us the day he was buried in the hideous clothing. He used to wear a yellow sweater, a yellow green pair of pants, and a green shirt that screamed colors. His spirit walked through the bedroom window. I got up and saw him walk down the hallway, came into the living room. There were 30 of us. He looked at my mother. She fainted. He looked at me, and he walked through the living room. Everybody stopped what they were doing, and he walked through the windows of a third story. There was nothing there but street. It was on Post Street. So, well, that's curious, Cranky. She might have had a premonition, or you might have died in her arms and came back. So, there have been paranormal things in our life. Other things that were weird. My sister one day, she brought home animals. My mother one day cleaned her fish tank and put hot water in and killed the fish. But my sister one day bit my mother. She brought home a poisonous snake. My mother stepped on it in the carpet. And I was out raking leaves in the house where my mother. So, there is one other event. For some reason, my mother and father decided to fight when we still lived in Washington, D.C. So my mother said, "Get out and take him with you. Take your son." It was always your son, you know. It was never her son. Even though I had done nothing wrong. So we got in this car he rented. And we started tootling. He had friends in California. He would run to the friends in California. And he was driving. And he was putting in like 600-mile days. He'd been a professional, truck driver. He ran booze for Al Capone during Prohibition. Well, he decided to change lanes around the car and fell asleep. And I'm still 10 or 11 years old. I think I was 11. And I'm going, now what do I do? So I grabbed the wheel just as a semi was about to smear us all over the road. Another brush with death. And for those who say I did something, he got drunk. The doctors told him he smoked. He had emphysema. He carried on one of those machines like Leonard Nimoy had, and they said, if you drink again, you'll die. Well, he got estranged from my mother, moved into a hotel on the Hotel Geary. It's since changed its names on Geary Street in San Francisco. Took a bath, had a heart attack, and slumped beneath the water. That was in 1972. So my mother has talked to me through the ceiling here. And she's come back along with my father in that same hideous outfit. She's dressed to the nines, but he's still wearing the same weird clothes. And I've heard her voice. She hasn't said anything else, just George. Now, she'd never been here. She didn't know where I live except the address. So how she's finding me, I don't know. excuse me, Blueberry, I don't know what your problem is. So it is not a trigger. There's no domestic violence here. So I'm going to remove that. I don't know what you're talking. I've never seen plane, trains, and animals, or automobiles. So and I am not cursed. All right, Blueberry, I'm removing that comment because there is no break. I don't know what's going on here. I'm just saying things that have happened to me. If you have an issue with it, that's your issue. We were in Washington, D.C. She knew whenever in the family was sick, when they were ill, when they were dying. 1959, she had come back from Germany. She went to visit her parents. My grandmother could speak no English. My grandfather had been in the German Navy in World War I. He was a naval artilleryman. I have his picture. I have two pictures of him. And 3 in the morning she wakes up, and at the foot of her bed was my grandfather. And that's how she knew he died. Thousands of miles away. And when my Uncle Werner died, and other people in the family died, she knew it. So, there's no break reality. I'm having coffee. I'm wide awake, sort of. I woke up at 8:30 this morning. I do not usually sleep till 8:30, but I was really tired. By the way, oddly, it's not as hot as they claimed. They said it would be 98 today, and then 92, and it's about 75, 78 here. And I just opened the door when I had the door open, and little girl was sleeping on the bed. And it's actually cool out there, so I don't know what happened to the 90-degree weather we're supposed to have. But and then I've had 24 cats or more over the years. My most beloved cat, other than our beloved Boop, born in my arms, the only kitten in the first litter of my Siamese cat, Squirt. And I never did know why she was called Squirt. She was very tiny. And Snooky adored me. He would sleep on my head. He would sleep under my chin. Well, he developed cancer. And I had moved from San Francisco, first to Sacramento, then I went up to Santa Rosa, staying at a friend's house. She was about to be evicted from her condo on Monday because she couldn't make the payments. My birthday was the 28th, Monday. Snooky was born in my arms at 5:30 a.m. on a Monday, on my birthday. Squirt and another mama cat made me lie down on the floor in the hallway to have their babies next to me. They trusted me that much. So I'm well over 90, 100 miles from San Francisco, and I hadn't been in that condo for very long. This was on Friday. Very cold that year and rainy. I had my cat's Mouse and Monkey outside, little one. But he liked to climb. I called him Climber Cat, too. He loved to climb things, like tables, chairs, bookcases. Well, they were outside because she was allergic to grass, so I made a house for them out of milk crates and giant garbage bags and tarpaulins. They were very warm and comfortable. At 5:30 in the morning, it got ice cold. I woke up freezing with the heater going full blast. sudden I felt a weight in the chest. Without thinking, I went like this, and I felt the head and the fur and the body and the tail. And Snooky, near the end of his life, he had gone to the SPCA. They were treating him for the cancer he had. And the vet called me and said, "Your cat just died. He ate a whole bowl of wet food and dropped dead." But near the end of his life, he started, for some reason, biting me on the chin. And he would bite really hard. Well, after I touched him, I knew it was Snooky. And he bit me and disappeared. So that's why I'm also convinced that cats go. Dirt. I don't know. Maybe something. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff I've spilled on the floor, and I don't know what was on the bottom of my foot. So, no, I don't sleep until noon usually. Very seldom do I sleep that late. But going to San Francisco anywhere wears me out. I'm doing all that. Okay, breathe out, breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. Take a deep breath. Hold it. Now breathe it out. You're like, and you're about to almost pass up the exertion. I had to do that 9 times. My chest is still hurting. So I have 3 cats. What I need animals. If I get any more therapy from cats, I'll be overwhelmed. I have a little girl that wants to lie next to me. I have Fuzzy that lies next to me at night. Fluffy will come up on the bed. Now I have more animal-assisted therapy than I know what to do with. I love them dearly. So, there's dirt on the kitchen floor. There's pieces of cat food that fall on the floor. I'm sweeping it up. My left knee keeps going out more and more. So, there's a quarter just fell on the floor. And as a result, with my knee buckling, and they both buckle, I have trouble walking, I have trouble standing. It's one reason that this place is not as clean as it could be, but I'm doing a little bit every day. So, the one thing that bothers me with my cats, the 4th of the original cats, I can remember Triply, Lilliput, Squirt, I cannot remember for the life of me the 4th cat. And I gave 3 of them away. I shouldn't have. I love them dearly. I think I'm out of paranormal stories for the moment. There's another weird story. Not paranormal at all. Had a manager who was really cranky. Weren't supposed to have cats, Kathy and I. And the mama cat, Squirt, got pregnant twice. So we wound up, instead of 4 cats, we wound up with 15 in a studio apartment. And so we decided, let's take the cats and put them in the car, and we'll drive around for a while, and then they won't know we have the cats, and we'll find a new place to live. So we had them in the car various times, not all of them at times, but let's put the cats that are most likely to be problem kitties because of the running around and all that stuff. So we put Snooky in the car. 59 Cougar. Well, we had a problem. I thought Snooky would just calmly, I'd never had cats before. My earlier girlfriend, Julie, who was murdered, she came in very sweetly. Would you watch my cats for a week while I go to Oregon? What am I going to do with cats? What do I do with cats? How do I take care of them? How do I feed them? I don't know anything about cats. I had dog Louie when I was a child, whom I still miss. But, okay. Well, Snooky decided he was scared, so he climbs under the dashboard. And he climbed into the glove compartment. Now, this is a full-grown cat. We could not get him out of there. We stopped the car. We sat there for an hour. till I finally managed to get the door open. He had jammed the door shut, and he was all squished in the glove compartment. I go, how does a cat fit in the glove compartment of a car? And he also left a deposit in the glove compartment of both kinds, and had to clean that out. Fit in the glove compartment. That would have gone viral today on YouTube, but I had a camera then. And we had a cat that was a kitten. I had a shop vac like the one I've got, and I was vacuuming off this couch. We eventually got rid of it because we didn't know it had mice in it. And the kitten decided to leap just as I had the vacuum on reverse, and suddenly, you'll believe the kitten could fly. He was doing this in midair, and the vacuum, I didn't dare move the hose because then he would drop, and he was about 4 feet up in the air, and I yelled for Kathy to come out of the bathroom and grab the kitten. So we had a lot of adventures. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I've been robbed at gunpoint, hit over the head. I had a guy try to shoot me, and I grabbed the gun barrel, the 44 auto mag, to keep from getting shot in the stomach. Been in car wrecks and survived. Had a fall on a day. I fell in the middle of the night and was scared someone was going to run over me. So, other thing, when I was about 9, my friend and I were walking home from school in a lightning storm. We were trying to get home before it really started. It really got worse. We're about 4 blocks from my apartment and his house, and lightning bolt. We were next to each other. It started to pour, lightning, thunder, very scary, and he got hit by a lightning bolt and died. I've never liked lightning since then. So, well, I don't really want to. There's a rule here: we don't talk about other people, and I don't want to hear about what other people are doing. So, Michael Vera sends me emails about his radio program, but other than having a few back and forth emails, I have nothing to do with Michael Vera. That kind of stuff. I don't want to hear what other people are doing or not doing, and there's no, I don't know that to be the truth or not. I don't really care, but I don't want it in this channel. So, and it's not the sort of thing you should be talking about here anyway, because it has nothing to do with me, my chat. And it's not behavior I would engage in. I'm certainly not going to send nude pictures to meet anybody. And why would you send nude pictures to someone in this day and age? With you had people like that congressman and other in New York who was sending nude pictures to his mistress, and they went all over the net. So, well, nude pictures are not paranormal talk. They have nothing to do with paranormal, except that the person does a paranormal radio program. It's not appropriate. Just because someone does a paranormal podcast, just sending nude pictures has nothing to do with the paranormal. So it's not paranormal talk. There is the sticker for my going to the respiratory therapy. I wonder what they do if they didn't have stickers. When they know it was Monday, I had trouble all day yesterday because I'm not used to going out on Mondays. Or having doctor's appointment on Mondays. Hello, Katie. Hello, Mazen. Amazing. So, no, a little girl came in during the night. She went out for a while, about 3 in the morning, and she curls up right here. She can't get any more assisted therapy than she is. And Fuzzy lies next to her. So they're both next to me in bed all night. Fluffy wants out all the time. He's the most upset out cat I've ever had. He loves to go outside. So I did take 2 showers yesterday, so whatever was on the bottom of my foot is gone now. At least I hope so. I can't see the bottom of my foot, of course. But I can feel it. There's nothing there. It could have been something stuck. It could have been something, food particles. I don't know. Anyway. And one of my relatives got in a car accident. He had hundreds of shards of glass in his brain, and he survived. So that's his incredible story. By all rights, he should have been a vegetable or dead. But he had studied at the university to become a pharmacist and couldn't do that because he couldn't remember math anymore. Anyway, other than have coffee, and I ate a salad for breakfast and picked up some stuff, and I got this gigantic back bin of cardboard to take out. I've done nothing today except, where's my package? What happened to my package? When is it going to get here? So I keep wondering. Let me see when it's going to come here. That's the whole purpose of originally going to do a live video. But let me see here. Yeah, I agree with Chris Sposa. One step beyond in shows like that we don't see. We get cheesy ghost hunters, not finding any ghosts. Let's see, where is this? Using the wireless mouse with no mouse pad, so hold on. In fact, there is a LNM radio at Michael Vari sent me an email yesterday. So I get emails from, okay, there's my package. Let's see now. Amazon packages came in a couple days. They're faster than these guys. 8:48 a.m. Loaded on the delivery vehicle at 4:36. Out for delivery at 8:48. I wonder what it was doing for 3 hours. 4 hours. No package. So, let me see what's going on here. I haven't opened the email, so I have no idea. I was busy yesterday. Being in San Francisco, my phone ran out of power. So I had no phone with me to look up email. I could look it up to a point. I was listening to my music on the way to the city. I've got about 40 songs on there, or soundtrack themes and music from movies and stuff like that. So And yesterday, as I was leaving the house, a whole bunch of stuff fell on the floor and the fan tipped over, so I gotta pick all that stuff up. I gotta start throwing out boxes because I got too many empty boxes in here. I'm saving them. Here's one box I'm gonna use for another shipment. That says, I can't resist it to a cat owner. It says cats love boxes, and they do. I had my Cuttlebug cat once. I came home and Cuttlebug was sleeping on the edge of a box. He was half in and half out of the box. Now, how do you sleep on the edge of a cardboard box? Cats do amazing things. That puzzled the hell out of me. And he was sound asleep. So, no, I don't listen to rock music. The last rock group I listened to was, well, if you don't count ABBA, it was Chicago. Because there's too much screaming and yelling and they sound like a dying moose. I should trademark that. Dying Moose Productions. Down the street, every Friday and Thursday and Saturday and Sunday now, they have guys playing guitar. You can't understand a word they're saying, but I hear it for 4 or 5 hours a night, and I go, make it stop, make it stop. It's like listening to George Norrie and his Submerging Artist. They're horrible. They had one guy do a song one night about being in an elevator, and I went, oh, please get me off this elevator. So, terrible, terrible, terrible songs. Yes. Fell asleep in a box. Okay. Must have been a mighty big box. Now go figure. Last night I had all 4 fans going. I got 1 now. So. Back in the day of my childhood, I listened to Herman's Hermits, The Ventures, the Kingston Trio, the Beatles, and the other folk. But my tastes are more regular artists rather than rock. Classical, and a lot of soundtracks. I've got in the living room and in the bedroom about 700 CDs. So, how did you fall asleep in a small box? I mean, you put your head in it? No. I mean, I have a small box sitting here. That's going to go off to Lucky Ferrell's. It's a fairly small box. I found out something about my refrigerator. I have too much stuff in the refrigerator. When I open the freezer, the wall of the freezer is getting hot, so I have to start taking stuff off the refrigerator. I didn't think it would bother the refrigerator. Your head was in it, yes. Men Who Sleep in Boxes, next on Dr. Phil. Next we'll have box separation anxiety or something. Not making fun of you, it just popped into my head, you know. We'll have designer boxes for men and women who have to sleep inside of boxes. I was on the bus yesterday and this woman had this stroller. She had the zippered bags for large quilts, and she had 4 of those things stacked up with everything she owned them plus stuff underneath. I don't know how it was staying on the cart. I feel sorry when I see some with all that stuff they're carting around. I've been homeless twice. I don't know what they do when it's summer, and it's not even summer yet. Well, it seems like this has turned into the Cranky the Cat program. So, well, when you have issues, going back to Mauslin's comment about therapeutic techniques have evolved. toxic parents. One of them hits you over the head with shoes and verbally berates you for 60 years, telling you how terrible you are, and the other one beats you. I don't care how much therapy you got. The problem's still there. You're still at home till you move out one day, and then it's still a fact. I had panic attacks for 40 years and screaming nightmares. No therapist ever helped me with that. They gave me chloral hydrate. It didn't even put me to sleep. Certain drugs I'm not resistant to, like Benadryl, makes me into a zombie. But chloral hydrate did nothing. Those are the classic knockout drops in the movies. And after I went to that therapist, would go in there for an hour, I was more depressed than when I just came in. So I finally stopped going. I said, no, this is not working out. And my friend Maroney's friend Lloyd, who was a psychiatrist, talked to me for an hour and said there's nothing wrong with George and his parents are really screwed up. And Maroney knew my mother. She tried to give him a ration of crap on the phone, and he said, listen, Crystal, you can give George grief all you want, but you're not going to do it to me. I'm his friend, and I'm going to stand by him. And she would do that, tear me down to people. I don't know what, well, she was an abused child. So she told me that. I was rather shocked. So, and she would, till her mother died in her 80s, she fought with her mother on the phone. So, uh-oh, that sounds like my package. I'm not sure. I'll be right back. I heard something go thud. Either that or somebody fell down outside my door. My knee is hurting. Oh, now it's starting to get warm out there. Okay. I am returning. Hold on. Okay. Time to set this down and turn the fan around. Oh, that's what was plugged in. The fan. Well, I can't plug it back in, so right now. All right, hold on. All right, you get Bird Unboxing Live. If I don't get a bird. Okay. Whoa. All right, this is very tall. Ow. Did not like that. It's also heavy. Okay, let's get the scissor and open it up. Is anybody else on here? 9 people. Okay. And this is, people say, what do I spend on items? This is the most expensive item I've ever bought online, other than my computer. My 2010 iMac costs $1,475, and it was defective when I got it. I had to take it into Apple and get them to repair it. Had a big red line down the screen, and it wouldn't start right, so they fixed it after a week. All right, whoops. What is this? Hold on. Now, let's see, this is something, a piece of paper. Return, it's one of those return receipt thingies. In case it's defective, there goes the box of Kleenex. Behind the box of Kleenex. Hold on a minute. I got a mouse here missing the bottom part. I hope to find the bottom part one day somewhere. All right, now. Oh, this isn't. I think the easiest way to do this is just going to be to cut the side of the box. Hope this thing works. I'm destroying the box. Ugh. Hard to do this on my knee. Ow. And to keep this from falling off my leg. Okay. It's open. Definitely have to take this box out because it's blocking the whole hallway here. Whole kitchen, actually. Oh. Okay. Hope no cat wants to go in it. I can get around. Alright, this is the giant TheraPure UV germicide. Helps reduce germs, purifies the air. Exclusive hemispheric filter provides 20% more filtering capacity. UV light technology helps reduce airborne germs, bacteria, and viruses. Permanent HEPA type filtration removes particles such as dust. I could sure use that here. Pollen, smoke from the air. Well, we've had wildfires here. That low power consumption, built in night mode. 3 fan speed, 24-hour timer, no filter replace, remove the filter and vacuum to clean. Yay, you don't have to spend money on a filter. All right, now, there's all right, take the scissor and take the tape off. This is $179, not counting the fee I paid for basically a warranty in case it stops working for 4 years. They replace it. All right. I'm going to put this on the floor. It might start to hurt my other leg. Here's the operating manual. They have sealed it in a bag, hermetically sealed. And unseal the bag. And warranty card. Do not return this product to the store. Here's the manual. Bunch of safety instructions, warnings, and then it tells you all the parts. And this actually is a pretty good manual. Usually these things are a little tiny manual. You cannot figure out what you're doing. It tells you how to start it, how to operate it, cleaning and maintenance. More cleaning and maintenance. A whole cleaning crew is in this manual. 1 year limited warranty. But I pay, whenever I buy a thing electronic, I always pay for the extra warranty. Okay, let's put that away. And now they have a giant cardboard honey egg comb something. Get rid of that. Ooh! Oh boy. Another. Complete with the do not eat stuff. If you had a power supply, you could carry this anywhere. Except it doesn't have any wheels. Maybe if I get that egg with the 30 miles range, I could put this in my scooter. Alright, let's see. I come up with the money to get the scooter. Another bag covering the plug. Alright, move this box also over here. And I will unplug the charging cable for the track phone. Here is the device. Now I'm going to take the usual wire thingy off of here. It really twists this sucker. Okay. Undo this wire thing so I can plug it in. Okay. I have an air purifier on the floor. It is a Ohms, one of two. The other one needs a filter. Okay, there's the wire thing. Here's the plug. This is the back of it. You take there's your filter. Giant filter. And you just pull that out, and there's the inner workings. Of course, watch now, we'll put it back in. Okay. I've got to turn it around. Okay, that's back on. Now we've unplugged the charging cable for the track phone. The beat. Alright, timer, on-off, speed, UV, VOC, night mode, $180. Hello, UFO girl, welcome. Okay, so we will set this. Whoa! Hold on. What happened here? That has really put out a lot of noise. Alright, we'll. There's the UV light. There's night mode. And we will. There's speed 1. Now it's stopped for some reason. I don't know why it stopped. Maybe it's stopped. There it is. Now here. And I could have had the room, which I don't right here, have this. Whoa, that's putting out a lot of air. I set that down next to my leg, and it is like blowing cold air. So it may, because it's putting out hold on. Coffee spilled in this subscription card. It's putting out a fair amount of air. Now I turn the speed down. So it's, Now I paid $200 for the Honeywell. It is not as good. So it will put on cold out. The back is coming off. There's a separate right. Oh, I'll just have this. Oh, that will cool me. If I'd sat this here, that would cool me off during watching videos or whatever. And it's only about less than 3 feet high. So Well, it says here, will clean rooms up to 200 square feet. Performance rating, pollen 163, dust 149, smoke 108. Well, unless we have a forest fire, I don't smoke, but that should help. If this turns out to be a good one, after I find a home for it, I will. I may just move the light tripod and stick it right there. I got to clear everything out, and that would help my breathing a lot. If it's good enough, I'll pay it off and buy another one. So, all right, let me. It's putting out a fair amount of, it's not super cold by any means, but it's forceful. And she's doing the job. It says here, permanent HEPA type filter, remove airborne particles as small as 0.1 micron. Dust and pollen, mold spores, cigarette smoke, pet hair and dandruff. A lot of pet hair around here. UV light produces viruses, bacteria, fungi, mildew, fumes from household chemicals, paint fumes. That's not going to apply to me. Chemical emissions from new carpet. Definitely will not apply to me. Indoor air pollution, odors. Micron chart. I have a needle 1,230 microns. Human hair 440 to 300 microns. Red blood cell 12 microns. Pollen dust mites 10 to 1,000 microns. Mold and dander 10 to 1,000 microns. Humidifier dust, lead dust 1 to 3 microns. Cigarette smoke 0.1 to 1 micron. Energy Star efficient. Provides 20% more filtering capacity for maximum purification. Now, I don't know what kind of filter it takes. I'm sure the manual will tell me. But we'll see how it goes. So the best test would be when I have the door closed. That's kind of pretty cool. I got laundry to do today. Now I don't have to sit here. But I'll probably take the laundry off the floor and start washing laundry after I get all this stuff out. So let me see if I can stick this. I had to unplug the fan. I've got 2 batteries charging for the mouse. And I'll stick this there. It sort of fits. And I'll turn that down. Pretty quiet. But it's still putting out, it's kind of on one, it's lukewarm air. I don't know if that's a proper term or not, but so the Honeywell has no way to, there's one thing I don't like about these. I don't like about the Honeywell either. There's no way to clear out the front panel. It's not removed unless you take a vacuum cleaner. It definitely. I could have this sitting here and just be watching a video and hold on to it, and I'd be cool. If I crank this thing up, it would cool me off. Yeah, if I didn't have this lamp here, I could stick it there. So I'll run that on low mode. And I got this from Fingerhut. I have an account. Made a $30 down payment. And they will send me the bill for next month. This was, of all of, I was looking for one with a UV light. This was the only one with a UV light. So after I move everything there, we will see how this works. Okay, I think that's it for this one. No one's chatting but me. Not getting any super chat. And as usual, not that anybody ever sends it to me, but and yeah, I'll let you know. You got my email there, UFO girl. I will, if you write me an email, I'll write you back, and I'll let you know how it works. And you can send cat gifts, not cat gifts. I don't know where the cat gifts come from. So, gift cards, checks, money orders for the cats to me at and there goes the 213 fluffy cat. Okay, so if you drop me an email, I'll let you know how mine works. So I will make room for that right there by my desk. Thank you, UFO girl. I spend a lot of time. Thank you very much. I like your avatar. Looks like a classic Adamski egg incubator UFO. I'm not certain if that's what that is, but thank you for the super chat. This is sort of channel related because if I can breathe easier, I can do easier videos. I won't be gasping for air. And if this works, I'll get another one, and then I'll get one for the bedroom and one for the kitchen, if I can find somewhere to put it in the kitchen. And don't think I can put one in the bathroom. So you'll have to send me a picture of the toy. I love UFO toys. This is one that arrived broken. Very distressing. It's a stress reliever, but the edge, I gotta get some glue. That flaked off, but the classic, this was supposed to be flying saucers, but it arrived broken. The guy never did replace it. I got my money back, and I would rather have a replacement. Although it's kind of hard to squeeze. I don't know how much stress it would relieve. It certainly stressed me out when I got it. It's very dusty. Everything in there gets dusty. So I'm hoping this will help with the dust. No, I wish I did. Back in the 60s and 50s, there were UFOs that I had them as a kid, but, they got lost when we moved. They would light up. They would make whirring noises. There would be a radar dome on top. And the lights would go off, and the little astronaut or whatever would be in there. There's also one of the grays. Let me get out of the chat for a minute. I will look up on eBay and see if it has any. How can I put this? Let's see. I'll look at battery-operated UFO toys. Flying mini drone, mysterious UFO, space rotor, flying saucer, grendizer. What the heck is a grendizer? One battery-operated spaceship in the 70s. Whoa. It's scrolling too fast. Hold on. This is kind of what I $1 flying saucer with, oddly, there's a seat there with lights, but nobody piloting the thing. It's got 4 lights, red, yellow, green, and white. Battery cover, but the battery cover is missing. still would be cool. Here's one, Jupiter flying saucer, UFO battery operated, old and rare, $348. Here's another one, battery operated, Soma battery operated spaceship, $83. Let's see what else is here. UFO station, Shangbor Potoi. I don't know what the heck that's supposed to be. Flying saucer. Here's another one, UFO XO5, $139. What Spider-Man has to do with UFOs, I don't know. Space Odyssey Greek game from the 1970s needs repair. It looks like it got a missile on it. I'm a little puzzled on that one. Moonranger NIB plastic made in Hong Kong vintage space saucer. This is a red with yellow and black stripes with lights on it, with a white dome, which supersonic sound uses 2 D-sized dry cells. It's not hard to find D cells, but it's hard to find a rechargeable D cell. Here's something interesting. Ryan's World, whatever that is, UFO red spaceship lights up, sound figures extras in spacesuit, firemen, and I don't know who Ryan's World is. Must be some series of kids' toys. Here's another drone. Drone for kids. A UFO top. I remember those as a kid. They had tops that would spin. Super blowing ball, China. Battery tin toy. Now this is Blechspielzug. Boxed works, $50. It has yellow, green, red lights. Says UFO, and it has a little ball on the top. The air propels the UFO. Has to do with aliens. I don't know. No grays so far in any of these toys. Oh, this one looks cool. I like this. Cloud B Cosmic UFO Projector Nightlight, Area 51 rare, $69. Well, at $69, it's continue to be rare. I might buy it one day, but Cosmic UFO Projector Nightlight Sound Area 51 rare. It does have a green alien on it and a red alien on the box. Has a little green alien in the picture. He's whistling something, but no alien in the device. Cosmic UFO. That's $50. Angry Birds movie bomb flying UFO ball helicopter. Who knew the Angry Birds had their own helicopter? Amazing. Here's a gyroscope. I know what that does with UFOs. Wonder Woman flying UFO helicopter. I don't know what that's got to do with UFOs either. Good Boy Lobbit UFO flashing dog balls. You throw them for your dog. Flashing wind-up windmill UFO. Well, there's nothing. I wonder. Let me see something. I'll try vintage. Maybe we can find something vintage. Mystery shot, battery operated UFO shooting camera shoots disc at you. No, nothing much in vintage either. I'll go back to my video. That wasn't very revealing, to say the least. So, Okay. Something, I did have something as a kid. It's very expensive. Well, maybe when we get to Vegas, I'll go take a look at that. I've been across Hoover Dam. I wear a 3X. I would love a little UFO toy. I'll show it in the video. AlienResearchCenter.com, located in Nevada near Hoover Dam. Okay, I know there's an alien research center somewhere out there. I thought it was more likely by Rachel with the Little Alien Inn, and that's one of the places I really want to go to. When we have a car again, and when Kathy goes to Vegas, and then the only problem is who's going to feed the kitties when I go. I'll have to get Chad a Copper to go feed Tiny One and go feed Orangey, and give food to the people with Gray, and then get my neighbor to leave food out for Mama Cat and Kitten. Kitten came up this morning. So, so this looks like it might really work pretty well. We'll find out. Of course, UFO Girl is rich because she's secretly one of the Anunnaki, and she just sucked the gold right out of the ground to pay for the purifier. Came in her ship, beamed out the gold, sent it straight to the credit card company, and said, "Send me the purifier." The books of Zachariah St. John, talking about the Anunnaki and mining for gold, silver, and presumably rare earth elements, and I don't know what else the aliens took back to Nibiru, if you believe in Nibiru. Oh, here we go. Bye, racist scum. Sucked it out of Biden's safe. You gotta watch what's in Biden's safe. Yeah, okay, I got a weapon here. I put them in a timeout so they can't come back for 300 seconds. So, these people are horrible. We're having fun, and I figured it by Rachel. There's nothing there, but the former gas station is gone. The post office is gone. The general store is gone. The black mailbox is gone because they kept messing with it. So the only thing in the Rachel other than houses is the Alien Inn. Yeah. Hunter Biden's. We probably have Joe Biden's dog's laptop in the safe. The one that bit him twice, or he fell or something. So we have Joe Biden's dog. The secrets of Joe Biden's dog. What are on there? He probably knows where the aliens are. And what happened to Amelia Earhart, Judge Crater, and others. We'll see that in the Inquirer next week. Joe Biden's dog tells Biden's most intimate secrets. And Joe Biden's dog knows the truth about UFOs. We got this secret file that we stole off a what are those things? Not flashcards. I can't think of what they're called now. SD cards off of the dog's laptop. Oh, that video today about, talking about the M1X2 or M2X MacBook Air, only a USB-C port and not even a mock-up of a charging port, and apparently no SD card. For some reason, Apple is against SD cards, though everyone wants one. I think Biden's brain shut down a long time ago. Just to get a line of a syntax error. Or unable to find folder. Maybe I got hit with a computer virus. I don't know. I've got to have full power. There we go. Now, up full power, that's kind of back on. Looks like the batteries may have... Hold on. Where did it go? Oh, it fell out perfectly in the tray where I can barely get to it. If I can get it out at all. Oh, it's going deeper in there. Jeez. How am I going to get that out of there? I'm going to have to take everything out of there to get to the battery. That's annoying. Okay. Kobo. Yeah, not the Lords of Kobo from Battlestar Galactica. I used to know Kobo. It's been 50 years I've used it. Or something like that. Oh, there goes a pen on the floor. I just missed the bowl. More pens for the pen cup. My letter opener of death here. And my cross pen and this thing. I'm not sure you would carry this in your pocket because it's got a clip for your pocket. You're going to walk around like an old style computer nerd with this thing where you could, stab 78 people with it, and it doesn't retract. It's just, that would be painful if you move the wrong way, but why would it clip to your pocket? It's got oh, wait a minute. It's got a spring on it. What the hell is that? But there's not, the spring does absolutely nothing. It's just, it doesn't twist for some reason. Now it just came off. Uh-oh, oh sheep, I may have broken it. Hold on. No, I can't figure out for the life of me why you would want this as a clip for your pocket. It doesn't move. It doesn't retract. And the tip is slightly bent. But that could do a lot of damage. I don't know where I got that thing from. So, yeah, they do. They eat Iams, Hairball Control, and Fancy Feast. They like the cheese. So now let's see if I can get that battery out of there. Here you go. Showing this book. Truth is an irresistible force. UFOs are real.com. What's this? Another inhaler. Yay. Absolutely unused. I never used this one. This is still a fresh inhaler. Another. Here's an Allen wrench. You can never have too many Allen wrenches. How that got in there, I don't know. And there's the battery. Hello, Ginger. Hello. Welcome. All right, we will put this back in. Okay, we'll unplug again the Charger for the track phone. And I will go pick up the plug for the fan. It's getting warm over here. That may not be a plug for the fan. I don't think that is the plug for the fan. No, that's not the plug for the fan. Ah. The plug for the fan has been activated. Okay. Ooh. Where was this? You're almost an abductee. Okay. Mail fell on the floor. I'm now tearing it up, put in this giant box so I can throw it out. Alloy statement. Was that night or daytime? Where were you at the time? Well, we saw a giant triangular UFO, Kathy and I, about 3 or 4 years ago. We were on a major podcast, reported at the National UFO Reporting Center. It was huge. My research, there have been no UFO sightings other than ours in Martinez. There was one in Walnut Creek where it was actually some kids saw creatures come out of the UFO. And there are 2 in Concord. By the marina. Okay. That's, well, it's more than 8 blocks from here because you hit the train tracks and you go up the road and up toward the marina. A long walk. You don't have a car. Huh. What year was this? Because I talked to the local paper before it was discontinued by its greedy owners, and they said there have been no UFO reports. And I've only found 3 UFO reports in this area in the media, so 2016, okay. I'll have to do some searching on that one. Thank you for letting me know. Maybe it was reported at the National UFO Research Center. I'll have to write Peter Davenport a note and see if any of the reports at that time. He was on the air with George Norrie one night when I gave George Norrie my UFO report. We were really kind of freaked out because it actually, the park next door, Susanna Park, Kathy saw it. It was way above the trees. It blanketed the sky. It was 11 o'clock at night. Then it turned an apartment building and hovered over my apartment building. Then turned back around, went down the street. We followed it in our car, which in retrospect may have been a stupid thing to do. Well, maybe it was looking for me, going to take me over. It saw my videos and was a video critic. I don't know. And it turned left, went past the far end of the jail, went to the other end of the jail, went to the post office where I get my mail, and the DA's office across the street. Over the hill, when you go to the top of the hill above the jail, there's the former Shell refinery. You could see normally the lights. It blotted out the lights of the refinery and all the street lights. And I'd say it was about 50 or 100 feet above the tree height. And then it shot off in the air and disappeared. It had no lights. It was a solid black triangle. So, how big was this? And was it convex, concave, oval, triangular? Any windows, any portholes, any lights? I'm always interested in UFO reports. I have never met anybody. Of course, it doesn't come up with people when I go down the street unless they see one of my paranormal shirts. Will you stop doing that safe receipt? Time they wear UFO. People notice my Ancient Alien Theorist shirt. They like it. My Roswell shirt. Other shirts like that. One day I have to take all my shirts and gather them up. And they're all normally hung up on hangers. That's why I'm going through the bedroom slowly to get rid of some of the boxes that I've been keeping for sending stuff off or putting laundry in. And actually figure out how many different shirts I have that I wear in my videos. Probably about 50. Of course, at 2 a.m., it's pretty dark out there at the marina. I've been there for 4th of July. It's dark enough out. You can't see a damn thing unless you've got a flashlight. It gets super dark out there. And as you head toward the bay, along the edges of the water is swampland or a bog, so you could really get sucked down in there. Bright green, hovering, moving toward me. The car started coming down the street. It flew away at high light speed. Looks like that car may have saved you from a death worse than fate. That's very interesting. I've heard of green fireballs and things like that with UFOs, but not many green UFOs. Let me look up. Let me get into Chrome and let's see if there are any. When did you say this was again? 2016. Okay. The UFO Reports. This is what I would be loved to doing on a radio show. All right. UFO Reports to Martinez. Recent UFO sightings. UFO sightings are real, but they're not what they appear to be. Protect yourself. Oh, it's a religious thing. They're paying for this to be the #1 UFO landing in West Pittsburgh, 2015. (1977) Alec mystery. The 3 boys were out in a field and they saw creatures. Okay, hold on. Let me go back. Martinez Tribune, 2015. San Mateo person. 2020. Okay, let me type 2016. When we saw ours, we called the police. I called the paper the next day. Nobody saw it, which is amazing. California and Florida report most UFO sightings. It's strange. What does human trafficking and sexual diseases have to do with UFOs? Project Blue Book revealed. Oh, it's the religious thing again. Well, I'm finding nothing. Nothing in here. Boy, there's a classic Adamski saucer in this news story from Channel Bay News 9 in 2020. And they have an interview video with Peter Davenport. Mysterious lights seen over Houston and Miami from the view. So, okay, back to the video. My buddy went missing. He was behind me when I ran it. Oh, yeah. See, you are a troll. You got me. But she just commented something racist in there, so she's a troll. Very sad. They are obsessed with using the N-word, and there's no reason to do that except they're jerks. I can't use the word I want to use. That tells me a whole UFO story that's totally false. They think it's funny to make the N-word as a name of somebody. Despicable. And that would have been a very interesting UFO report to study if it were real, but it's not. Waste all that time just to screw with me. And so I don't understand the minds of these people, why they think this is amusing or acceptable or funny or all of the above. Well, with that in mind, I think I'm going to go. It's getting warmer in here. It's now 80. I want to get this recycling out. I've got my garbage to throw out, which I couldn't do because I didn't have time Monday, and I have laundry to pick up, so I'm going to try to get all this stuff out of here. All right, this is George Senda, the guy from Pittsburgh. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for watching, except for the troll. And so we know that was fake because she did N blank 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 Jones, and it was the pejorative N word. So troll alert again. All right. This is George Senda, the guy. A great evening. Stay wet, warm, dry, or cool as the case may be. Stay cool and dry. Stay safe. And I will catch you next time. Tomorrow is Kathy time. We go out to lunch. Bye-bye for now.